Principal, Mrs. Promini Chopra, a Vice Principal, Mrs. Asha Chadda, and all dear parents who have joined us today. On behalf of the Jaipuria family, I extend a very warm welcome to you all. It's so delightful to see everybody here present and all geared up for the new session. It is my great honor to invite our beloved and dynamic principal, Mrs. Promini Chopra, to address the meeting.
I would thank all of you for choosing Jaipuria School. Now, if you've chosen Jaipuria, it is for a certain reason. And we would like to tell you our reason of running the school in a particular way. This is a question we asked almost all the parents. Why did you choose Jaipuria? And we wanted to know what you knew about Jaipuria. So there are certain things which are sacred to us. And I'll just discuss one of those sacred things because our entire pedagogy, our entire philosophy of education is based on that which is sacred to us. And that is represented in our school logo. So here on the screen, we've displayed the school logo. So you see the flame, okay, this orange and purple thing, this is the flame. And then you see the name of the school and you see Tamaso Ma Jyotirgamaya. Now we all know, you may have looked at this quote, you may have heard of it, and I feel that most of you must be knowing the meaning as well. So Tamas is Andhakar, darkness, and Jyoti is light. So the logo says Tamaso Ma Jyotirgamaya, from darkness to light. Now, what kind of darkness is this? This is ignorance. So it becomes moving from ignorance to knowledge. This is what the school logo says. And that is why it has a flame. Now, this is the flame of aspiration within us. This is the flame which takes us from ignorance to knowledge. After all, if you want to do something, you need to aspire for that. So our aspiration is to move from ignorance to knowledge. And how do we do it? So you may wonder, why are there two taglines here? Because one is Tamaso Ma Jyotirgamaya and the other is School of Conscious Transformation. So how do we move from ignorance to knowledge? It is through conscious transformation. And we call ourselves a school of conscious transformation. So what do we mean by conscious transformation? I'm sure most of us understand the meaning of transformation. It is change. But then why change? And on the other hand, all of us have heard change is a constant. That means it has to happen. There is nothing which can ask us to not change. That is the rule of life. The pandemic hit and we changed our way of running the school. The pandemic left and we changed the way of running school. So that is what change is about. Now there is another word here, conscious. So conscious here means in complete awareness. पूरे ध्यान से, जिसको हम हिंदी में ध्यान बोलते हैं, that is being conscious. Now there are two things. One is that change happens inadvertently, you're not even aware of it. And the other is that you observe something, you feel it, you think about it, and then you bring about a change. That is a conscious change where we are working at bringing about the change. So this is what we do. We talk of being in complete awareness, understanding what life is, what is a child, what is going around a child, and the child also becomes aware of all that is happening around him and consciously, in complete awareness, forms, repeats certain actions and forms some habits which remain with the child lifelong. So habit is basically a conscious effort. Now, if habit is a conscious effort and we have to make it, then we have to understand what kind of habits have to be formed and what kind of conscious effort has to be made. So, here at school, we have identified certain things which, as I said in the beginning, are sacred to us. And we feel that the child should consciously bring about these in his behavior if he is studying at Jaipuriya. Because by bringing about these things, the child gradually changes himself. And as he changes, he evolves. Because life is about evolution. And every child has to blossom and reach his fullest potential through this conscious transformation and evolution in his being. Now, if the change has to be conscious, then the child must observe and the child must feel that observation and then think about it and then finally bring it into him. So all the activities of the school are such that they make the child observe certain things. So you'll find a lot of nature walk, a lot of going around the school. All that is with this purpose of raising the child's level of observation. There are certain things which the child feels, the surfaces, the things in the school, he touches. At home also he does that. He feels and understands the different kinds of variety, the different materials that are all around him. And it is not only about materials, the child also feels your warmth, your love, the teacher's warmth, the teacher's love, your anger, and a teacher's expression. Now we have to decide what kind of expressions we have to choose for ourselves so that the child has a rich experience and life is pleasant for a child and he loves to come to school and at the same time he loves to associate with you and forms a loving bond with the teacher and the students as well. So we have to be very, very particular about the way we behave with a child. And also, when we say we behave with a child, and also the way we behave with the parent, and the way we behave with the teacher and the school in general, the support staff in school, which is there, because the child is observing us all the time. So the child picks up our behavior and models himself or herself after that and consciously brings about a change in his behavior. We have to really think what kind of behavior we expect from the child. Obviously, we expect the same from ourselves. So first, transformation has to happen at our end. So it will be nice if parents observe what is happening in the class, become a part of that, so that while we are trying to bring about a transformation, the parents become a part of that transformation and the child develops organically and the school is a pleasant space for the child. If the child feels the teachers revering the children, paying enough respect to the support staff and respecting the parents, and sees the same at home, the parent really being fond of the teacher, respecting the teacher, and addressing the teacher in a respectful manner, irrespective of whether the teacher is around or not, there will be a culture of respect and support on the other side as well. Um, Today, when we had to begin the session, there were some of you who were there 10 minutes early. There were some who joined at the nick of the moment, and there are some who are still joining. So, all that we do, the child is observing. We have to adhere to the school timings in the coming days if we want our child to be right on time wherever he is placed in his later life. And that begins right away, immediately, right from today. So each time you do something, please keep the Jaipuria logo in mind, because now you are Jaipuria family and we are proud to associate with you, and we look forward to a strong association with you. Today, when we've called all the heads who you will be seeing uh, off and on as you come to the school. We have with us Mrs. Asha Chadda. I'll just name them and they'll be on the screen a little later. So Mrs. Asha Chadda, she's the Vice Principal of Pre-Primary and Junior School, and also the Principal of Navsrijan, our school for the underserved. Then we have Mrs. Kanika Chopra, who is the headmistress of the KG block, and Mrs. Mitali Srivastav, who interviewed the playgroup parents, and she's the headmistress of PG. We have Mrs. Aradhana Vora. She'll also be introducing herself a little later. She's the academic coordinator. Now, all these are people you can approach anytime, and their email IDs will be shared with you, and you will come to know more about the school systems. Thank you so much. And once again, heartfelt gratitude for your presence today.
Thank you, ma'am. I would like to invite our headmistress playgroup and head admin, Mrs. Mitali Srivastav, to take the proceedings.
A very good morning to everyone. I am Mitali Srivastav, the headmistress of Playgroup. I am here to apprise you about the school schedule. Dear parents, we are beginning our Playgroup session from 22nd of March. And from 22nd to 25th of March, the school timings will be 10:30 to 12:30 p.m. From 28th March onwards, we'll have our regular school timing, that is 9 a.m. to 12 noon. The LKG session is starting from 23rd March. Well, from 23rd to 25th of March, the timing will be 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. And from 28th March onwards, again, a regular school timing will be following, that is from 8 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. Playgroup parents are going to enter from gate number 2 and LKG parents are going to use gate number 3. Dear parents, it's our honor if you want to stay in our school campus for first 2 days, you're most welcome. This is regarding books and stationery. So for playgroup parents, you are going to deposit the books on 21st of March, and LKG parents are going to deposit their books and stationery on 22nd of March. Very soon, the teacher will share their time slots on the WhatsApp group. This is for your information, parents. Books, stationery, and uniforms are available at the bookstop, as they're going to put a temporary counter in the school for your convenience. Well, you can buy books from outside also if you wish to. The bookstop timing is 8:30 a.m. to 1 p.m. on 12th March and 21st to 24th again from 8:30 to 1 p.m. only. Entry from gate number 3. This is about uniform. The playgroup children has no school uniform. They are going to wear colored, comfortable clothes. For LKG, this is a formal school, so they'll be wearing school uniform. So if you see, the boys are going to wear white shirt, which has a logo on it, school logo on it, and at the back it's written ignorance to knowledge, and with navy blue shorts or pants. And girls are going to wear the same white shirt with navy blue skirt or pants. School belts are also there, and polished black shoes. We have games t-shirts. We have 4 houses, that is wisdom, strength, harmony, and perfection. So games t-shirt children are going to wear on the day when there will be games. This is according to the timetable. Please ensure that boys wear underwear, as the closing and the opening of the zip can hurt them. Thank you. Now, let me invite our pre-primary academic coordinator, Mrs. Aradhana Vora. Thank you, ma'am.
Good morning, parents. I would like to extend warm welcome to all of you. Now, since you're aware about the uniform and the school timings, let's proceed further. These are certain essentials which your child will carry to school. He must have a small school bag, a water bottle. Though the water is also provided in the school, we have purified water. The child will carry two tiffin boxes, a small fruit tiffin and a food tiffin. So there are two breaks in between where the child will get time for the fruit tiffin, and then in the next break, the child eats the food. The child should also carry a cloth napkin. Mask is mandatory for everybody, and you will also get an apron when you buy the stationery. So that should also be kept in the bag. It is important that the children carry a clean change of underpants in the bag because at times they may require that. And very important that all the belongings of the child should have his or her name, class, and section mentioned there. Next, we're talking about birthday celebrations now. Birthday is a very big event in the child's life. But here in school, we would like you to not make it very elaborate affair and just send two sweets, toffees, or a small chocolate, which he can distribute among his friends and teachers. Um, Birthday celebrations are fun, so you can send them in their home dress. Next, now we're going to talk about the important people and your communication. So refer to the website on regular basis for the latest updates. The teachers have formed a WhatsApp group and they will be posting the every day's work there and all important information which you need to know. And one more thing, only the parents can be added to this group. So each child will receive a Jaipuria email ID which will be shared with you shortly. That can be used for communicating with the school on any matters you want to discuss. But till the time you don't get the ID, you can use your personal ID, which is already shared with the school. Intimate the school in case of any change in your address, telephone numbers, and email addresses. And for any telephonic or WhatsApp communication, please adhere to the timings. School timing would be 8:30 a.m. to 3 p.m. And for teachers, you can communicate between 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. It is just to inform you that when the teachers are conducting their classes, they may not be able to attend to your calls or your messages. So just call them between the time given. But in case of any emergency, you can call at the reception or the headmistress. Okay, now I'm going to share some important contact numbers and email IDs with you. So here the first slide, yeah, the first slide here shows you the important school contact numbers. Here we are sharing the email IDs of Promini ma'am and Asha ma'am. Next, we have the email IDs of Mitali ma'am, Anika ma'am, and mine. And now I would like to call Mitali ma'am to introduce her teachers to all the parents present.
Dear parents, let me introduce the class teacher of your child. So when you step in, you will see in playgroup A, we have class teacher Devika Khare and co-teacher Mrs. Akanksha Tiwari. In playgroup B, Miss Nikita Oberoi is the class teacher and Shreya Srivastav is the co-teacher. In playgroup C, Mrs. Diksha Joshi is the class teacher and Adita Agarwal is the co-teacher. Playgroup D, you will see Navunita De Kirti as a class teacher and Shreya Srivastav as a co-teacher. Playgroup E, we have Mrs. Achira is the class teacher and Mrs. Sonia Tharwani is the co-teacher. Playgroup F, Mrs. Alvira Khan is the class teacher and Mrs. Akanksha Tiwari is the co-teacher. Over to Kanika ma'am.
So when parents, dear parents, when you come to school and you're in LKG A, Mrs. Veena Suraj is the class teacher, and of course, Mrs. Neha Mehrotra will be with her as a co-teacher. In LKG B, We have Ms. Parul Khatri as the class teacher and Ms. Neha Verma as the co-teacher. For LKG-C, there is Mrs. Vinita Mishra as the class teacher and Mrs. Sneha Chakravarti as the co-teacher. LKG-D, we have Mrs. Kritika Singh as the class teacher and who will be Ms. Shifa Devro will be there for her as the co-teacher. LKG-E is taken care by as class teacher Mrs. Tanya Singh and Ms. Fareen Khan is the co-teacher. LKG-F, this is Jasneet Anand, will be accompanied by Mrs. Poonam Dubey. LKG-G, the class teacher is Mrs. Nagma Mehmed, and of course the co-teacher is Ms. Sagarika Singh. LKG-H, the class teacher is Mrs. Ruchi Narula, and the co-teacher is Ms. Afreen Shah. LKG-I, we have Mrs. Durai Shehwar as the class teacher, accompanied by Ms. Shivani Mishra as the co-teacher. And LKG-J, Mrs. Pallavi Pandey is the class teacher, and Ms. Christina Lyle is the co-teacher. These are your people of contact when you come to school, and the teachers of your child will be taking care of your children. We look forward to a very, learning experience with the teachers. Now I would like to take you forward for a few more systems that we have in the school. And parents, I know you may have not noted the email IDs and all. Both these PPTs will be shared on the school website for that we can take down whatever information you want for the next 2 days. Now we've talked about communication. Let's move on with the very important issue of safety and security in school. I know that's something that is there in our minds all the time, that how safe are our children. Let's be be rest assured. Now, what about Jaipuriya? The school, entire school, and I mean entire school, is that there is the classrooms, the corridors, the gates, every entry point, every exit point is under CCTV camera surveillance. And there are maids stationed in all the corridors as well as outside the washrooms. At no given time is your child going unobserved. Health security. The past 2 years have always really, brought into limelight the importance of good health. Now, if the child is suffering from even something mild as a cough and cold, please let him rest at home because then the recovery is faster. If you do not send the child to school if he's suffering from cough, cold, fever, or any other ailment, because we must be careful. Like, school is a society where everyone's health is important, be it the teachers, be it the children, be it the support staff, and we must take all precautions to prevent any transmission of infection. Parents, I request you, please inform the class teacher as well as the concerned headmistress in writing regarding the details of any medical condition, like you have diabetes, you have asthma, seizures, etc., or any medication the child needs to take regularly, or if she's allergic to any drug or anything. This is very important for the safety of your child. Safety and security, the school ID card. Each parent will be issued an ID card. First and foremost, I'm sorry, is that the ID card must be filled and submitted at gate number 1 latest by 12th March if it has not been submitted by you. So please kindly look into it, that if you have submitted the ID card on a form or not. Please fill that. That is, this is of utmost urgency. Now, 2 ID cards are provided, and in case a third ID card is needed for a guardian or a person employee of the parent, you can make a request to the class teacher any day after the session begins. For the third ID card, an additional charge of Rs 150 will be levied. The child must wear the school ID card to school every day, and any parent or guardian, while they come into school to pick or drop the child or for any purpose, must carry the ID card on them. Please, parents, make a note that this is for the security of your child, that we know that who's on the campus and for what reason, and it is a parent or a guardian that has been, is an authority to be in the school. Transport. I know you all must be wondering what the transport in school, how your child is going to come to school and everything. As Mitali ma'am has already pointed out, that if you're bringing them by your private vehicle, playgroup parents will come by gate number 2 and exit from there only. And for LKG, the parents will come from gate number 3. Gate number 3 is at the back side, if you have seen. Of course, gate number 1, you all had come by gate number 1 when you had come for the interview. As you go along the road, gate number 2 is just ahead. So that is where the playgroup parents will make their entry and exit. And if you go Police Modern School at behind the school or Ayappa Mandir, the gate number 3 is there. And LKG parents will pick and drop the children. Entry for them is from gate number 3. Otherwise, school bus services are available only from class 1 onwards. And the school does not provide vans. Of course, if parents are using vans and because there are van services that are bringing children to school, I would like to bring this point forward. That is a word of caution for parents of children who will commute by van. I request you to kindly check the driving license and the RC and the condition of the vans before hiring them. I request you to keep the phone numbers of the van owners and drivers. Usually, the van owner and the driver are two very different people. So please do keep the phone numbers of them. Please inform the van owner and the driver's name along with the van number to the class teacher. Van number is not the registered license number, but a number that is given by the school. The school role over here is that each van is given a number by the school. And we also provide the van drivers with a card which carries the information of all the children in the van. So you also can ask the van driver to show you that card once the school has settled. This will be when the session has already begun. And you can also make a contact that which are the children who are commuting by the same van, and you can make a note of their number. Playgroup and kindergarten children they board and deboard inside the campus. And children are escorted by the teachers to and from the vans. That is rest assured. That is the thing about transport. Now it is my great honor to invite our inspiring Vice Principal and Principal Navsrijan, Mrs. Asha Tata ma'am, to take the proceedings forward.
Thank you, Kanika ma'am. Good morning, everyone. Jaipuria family is humbly grateful to all our parents for their valuable presence today. Dear parents, your presence is extremely important on all such occasions. This helps you to understand the systems of the school as well as its philosophy. Our principal has introduced the philosophy of our school, and also our HMs and ACs have apprised you about our school systems today. Our school philosophy is reflected through each of our school systems as well. When we ask children to bring a napkin with a tiffin, we lay emphasis on habits like cleanliness, hygiene, and also aesthetics. Fruit tiffin teaches our children to take care of their physical bodies to reach their fullest potential, as Promni ma'am has mentioned. Celebrating birthdays in an unpretentious way teaches our children to be modest and humble. Refraining from coming to school during illness to protect others teaches them to be caring, compassionate, and empathetic. Our open communication system with our parents builds a culture of trust and makes our bond stronger. Maintaining discipline to make calls to the teachers will help your child to inculcate the habit of self-discipline. The list is endless. These were a few examples. For developing all these social and emotional life skills in our children, we expect our parents' cooperation. Parents and teachers cannot replace each other's roles, but rather must complement each other to empower the child. We believe education emerges from the synchronous effort of children, teachers, and parents. The parents play a vital role since learning begins at home. School learning and home parenting should not be disconnected. The relationship between parents, teachers, and children is just like a triangle. The topmost point is the child, who is supported at the base by the parents and the teachers at the remaining 2 points. We all are connected with each other at some point, and we feel together we can design a meaningful roadmap for our children's growth and learning experiences. Thank you once again for being with us. Experiences will always be richer when home and school walk together. Infinite gratitude for joining the Jaipuria family. Thank you.